I was just thankful to see Brad Keselowski, a race car driver, not a team owner. Let's remember, RFK. The K on the end of that team is Keselowski. He didn't look like he was managing equipment. He didn't look like he was worried about the budgets. He was out here to win the Great American Race.
Hey, race fans, welcome to a special edition of Backseat Drivers. We're on the road here at Daytona International Speedway following the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. We saw a rookie make it to victory lane. Cindric gets his first ever career win, and man, it's the crown jewel of our sport, the Super Bowl. I am here with my two friends on pit road, Mamba Smith and Steve Letarte. Welcome, guys. Talk about a day. Let's have a weekend at Daytona.
I'll tell you, when we landed, it was instant. I got here middle of the week. The town was packed. Restaurants packed. The racetrack was abuzz. The infield was great. And then you take all of that and then jam a spectacular Daytona 500 at the finish, Mamba. I was excited all weekend long. The race didn't disappoint.
No, the race was awesome, but really a shout-out to the fans, to all you guys. Shout out to all y'all for showing up. It was fantastic. I hung out with so many fans in the campground. We had a lot. The music was bumping. The vibe was exciting. And then the grandstands today. Oh, my God. It looked like we were back in the 90s. And I wasn't there for it, but I remember watching it on TV. But it was awesome. I'm so glad I got to experience that.
The atmosphere was electric, but one thing I tell you that was a big check mark in NASCAR's book today was this next-gen debut. We saw it at the Clash. We saw that it could do a little beating and banging, but we didn't really know what it was going to do in true competition, especially with wrecks that you have at Daytona. So, Steve, I'm bringing this back one to you because the next-gen car, the crew chief hat, put it on. What'd you think?
Well, I came to Daytona with concern and anxiety like everyone else. It's a brand-new car. There's 1,000 things that could go wrong, but overall, I give it an A+. I think there's a couple issues we're going to review, right? We had a couple wheels that came loose. Don't know if that was user error, pit stop issues, but there was not any real mechanical issues. We talked a week ago, and I said, man, we might see some gear issues. We may see some other issues. Nothing really crept up. 40 started, a couple of mechanical issues, and the wrecks, look, don't wreck. I don't know what to tell you. When you hit stuff, stuff breaks, and more than perhaps anything, the biggest test is we saw one of our young drivers get upside down on the backstretch, jump out. That, for me, was the 2 thumbs up I was looking for.
Yep.
It was a race. It was a great race, but it's just like every other race that we have. There's things that happen, right? Mechanical failures, drivers crash, but at the end of the day, these teams have done such a good job building these cars, and NASCAR, to their credit, did a good job with the design of the car. You just mentioned it. We had a driver go upside down. First time with this car. We didn't know what they were going to do either when they got backwards at 180. Now we know. Now we know they're safe. They did their job. Every part did its job. I'm very happy with what we saw.
Glad to see Harrison Burton walk away from the Infield Care Center. No scratch on him. He looks great. So the 21 will be back at Auto Club. But let's touch on from one broom to another broom. He swept the duel, and then he swept the rest of the competition by just deciding to block and throw some blocks and throw some hits and throw some bumpers and some fenders and whatever else for Brad Keselowski. The 6 went a little crazy for the Daytona 500. Mamba, what do you think of the 6?
Well, look, this car, I feel like this car really leans towards whoever's going to be aggressive. Now, Daytona, maybe not the ideal place to be that aggressive. We really saw him make some moves that I felt like were out of character. Usually he's a little more calm, cool, and collected, getting through the stages. He was pushing hard, and he pushed hard in the duel, and he pushed hard tonight. And he wanted to win the race. And I'm here for guys that want to win. I would have liked to see it, be more towards the end. But, hey, it's racing, and I was excited to watch.
I was just thankful to see Brad Keselowski, a race car driver, not a team owner. Let's remember, RFK. The K on the end of that team is Keselowski. He didn't look like he was managing equipment. He didn't look like he was worried about the budgets. He was out here to win the Great American Race, the biggest race in the NASCAR book other than the championship at the end of the year. So I'm not going to judge too aggressive, not too aggressive. I leave that to the drivers. I've always learned that 40 drivers really know what goes on out there. We just kind of watch. We'll let them judge it. I thought there was no doubt he was all in. How about that? All in. It didn't always work out. But overall, I give it a pretty good grade for him as a driver owner.
And RFK rolls off the tongue, doesn't it, Steve?
I'll tell you, good thing they hyphenated. I don't think that could get all in. Just
Roush
RFK.
Fenway Keselowski. It's great.
Okay. Yeah.
Boom.
We'll talk to the boss. I think we know a guy. Well, the rookies, Harrison Burton was on the opposing end of Brad Keselowski, wanted to get it done. The 100th win in the Wood Brothers Racing 21 Ford Menards car. But Cindric gets it done for Team Penske, his Team Penske teammate. We'll call them teammates. They're an affiliate. But rookies, can we trust them? Can we not trust them? One's in victory lane. One's on the hook. Steve?
Well, listen, this rookie class, and really every rookie class that's a broken record talking about him, I think it just proves the feeder opportunity for these drivers to get enough experience to come to the top level of stock car racing and compete. We've seen it with Chase Briscoe. We've seen it with other years in other classes. Harrison Burton's no different. Austin Cindric, I would take him any day. Tons of talent. Even at times we saw Gillen up there in the 38 dicing it up. So it was an impressive class. But now let's be honest. This is Daytona, drafting, 2.5 mile. We're going to go to Fontana, then to Vegas, then to Phoenix, and we'll see if the momentum continues. I believe it can because they're driving great equipment. But the hop over the fence from Saturday to Sundays, it's a tall fence. We'll see how they land. It's tough on Sundays.
Mamba, I don't know who called it, but Austin Cindric. Did I call it? I think I called it.
Called what exactly, though?
Successful rookie season.
So,
check.
So we
First
just
race.
all right.
Check.
I will dub that for you. You can have that.
Thank you.
He went way out on a limb and said he was going to drive pretty good in the 2 from Team Penske. The big stretch.
I mean, weird, right? No, Cindric did a great job. He's a hard competitor. He's a good driver, a lot of talent. But I know what you're saying. Getting at. You're saying rookie year. I'm still holding out. I'm a man in the Dex imaging. 21. Harrison Burton. I think over the last 2 weeks, between the Clash and Daytona, he's showing these guys that you can trust him, you can race around him, and he's an all-around professional race car driver. He's going to be here for a long time, and I'm excited to see what Harrison does. It was great. He did a great job all week.
Simple answer on this one. Best rookie class ever.
No.
No,
Okay.
no, too many.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Sorry, 2022.
And we're talking about champions are in some other rookie classes, right?
Then we might look back and say it was the best
Yeah.
rookie class ever, but I'm not willing to give him the nod yet.
Okay. Well, next up, we're staying with the Blue Ovals. Is Ford the manufacturer to beat? We were singing a different tune at the end of the 2021 season. Ford looks like the dismal team and couldn't get into victory lane really at the end of any of the seasons, with the exception of Team Penske. But is Ford the manufacturer to beat this season?
Maybe at the speedways. Let's just remember, this car is brand new, but the other thing about this car is the style of racing here versus Fontana is very, very, very different. More different than even last year. So I do believe, listen, they proved they came down here. They controlled the race at times. They had a lot of very fast Fords. The Blue Ovals did look good. So I think going to Atlanta, which I think is going to race like a speedway, and on to Talladega, everyone's going to have to look at those guys as the teams to beat. But this is kind of like a judgment of one of 6, right? A couple Talladegas, a couple Daytonas, a couple Atlantas. Fontana's going to be very different. We'll see. They could be, they could not, but I'm not ready to raise the flag on the Ford parade yet.
Yeah, I mean, like what we know after Daytona, right, is that the people that are good here
are still
good here,
Yeah.
right? Hendrick swept the front
Qualifying.
row, right? So they swept qualifying. Bowman for 5 years in a row
Yep.
now. So like they did what they always do here. The Fords did what they always do here, which is team up and be well and be up the front and control the pack. They did all that very well. Bubba Wallace leaned the charge with the Toyotas at the end, just like he did. The guys that are good on speedways are good. And to your point, these tracks are very different as we move into the season. But I think that because guys that are good are going to be good at where they've been good, we're going to see the guys that are good at Fontana will be good again.
All right. Well, these two must have had some 5-hour energy all day because the energy that they've had setting up has just been nuts. But
We're at the racetrack.
This is our rapid response here, powered by 5-hour energy. Steve, can Austin Cindric make a push to the championship 4? First one to lock in, has nothing to worry about with the playoffs.
I can't get him in the championship 4. I can't. I just can't. I might change my answer in a couple of weeks, but right now, congratulations, Daytona 500 champ. I don't have him in the 4.
Championship 4 for the 2.
No, he's the Daytona 500 champion and will forever be the Daytona 500 champion. To be a season champion takes a lot, and he needs to be a little bit more seasoned, I think, to get there. He's going to have some rookie woes, and that's okay. He's a rook.
Like what you did there. Next up, Mamba, which team impressed you the most? Let's do all of Speed Weeks.
I honestly think it has to be Roush, Fenway, Keselowski, RFK, as my buddy Steve likes to say. And because no one expected them, I don't think, to be in victory lane in one duel. They did both duels. And then they were fast and aggressive and had a shot to win the Daytona 500 as their first time as a full organization. I was pretty impressed.
Lots of impressive groups, but I think a team that perhaps needed a good speed week is Stewart-Haas Racing. I know that sounds crazy, but they did it, and they did it without Kevin Harvick having a great race. We saw Chase Briscoe up there and Eric Almirola up there. That's a team that definitely faded last year. So while they're not standing on the top of the podium in victory lane, I think there was some bright spots that they can continue to build.
All right, bright spots for some, a little dark for others, some grim teamwork, and needing to improve on this next-gen car. Steve, what team has the most work to do?
So, I'm going to give that across the garage. I think at times everybody had high points and low points. I didn't see a team, Mamba, that I thought was just totally out to lunch all the way through. You mentioned Hendrick had speed qualifying. We had a 23-11 car run second. Joe Gibbs looked good. They didn't get the cars to the finish like they want, but they had good speed. So I'm actually not willing to kind of put anybody out on the island yet. I think they all had a decent showing. Some better than others, but none awful.
I agree. I mean, we can't be like, it's the first week. And it's a super speedway, so like everything, you can throw it all up in the air and see where the spaghetti lands. But I think we'll see that develop race by race. I'm not even track by track, like literally race by race. I think 1 week these guys are going to be good because they picked up something from a previous week, and the next week someone else is going to be good, which I love.
All right, Mamba up next. Will smaller teams continue to race up front? We have been saying that the next gen will be the equalizer. Will it be true?
It looks so far as it's going to be true, which is a great thing for everybody involved, right? It shows if you're dedicated to developing your race team, you can come from the bottom like a colleague and work your way up. Now, they ran into some issues. Some were self-inflicted this week. Mm-hmm. Some weren't. But they had speed, right? So if you can get here, this car allows you to do that. We've seen one-car teams, like the money team. They made it, right? The 27, Jacques Villeneuve, he made it. That's important to see that in the sport. So I think the car's going to be in good shape.
I don't think expectations go up. I think their ceiling does. I know that sounds silly, but I still think there's fast cars and slow cars. I still think the teams with more resources, more money, more people have a bigger advantage to be more consistent. But what I see is that the smaller team really has a chance on their best day to really be up front. Not their best day, hey, we're 19th. Right. Their best day can be up in the single digits, can be up in the top 5. That's what I'm looking for. Look, I know this is awful to say. You got to have slow cars. You got to have fast cars. They can't all run the same speed. I was thankful to see that here in Daytona from qualifying through the race. So I don't think their expectations go up, but the ceiling, their opportunity is bigger.
All right, this one may be a little bit of a lather, rinse, repeat, Steve. Biggest takeaway from this weekend?
My biggest takeaway is the Daytona 500 is alive and well. We got through the pandemic. We had fans back to the racetrack. We had partial. We had this. We had that. I watched my first ever Daytona 500 from the other side of pit road up in the grandstand.
That blows my mind.
I got sunburned, and I'm going to tell you, it was electric. You look over, I saw Kid Rock in one spot, saw Luke Combs in another. There were celebrities. There was fans. The place is great. That's my takeaway. The Daytona 500, circle it. Because if you expect to come here, don't wait till next February. You better buy some tickets and fill this place up. It's going to sell out.
I mean, he's so hyped up. I don't know how to follow that. But the fans, man, that's what, we're an entertainment sport. We're here for entertainment. Competition is a huge piece of that. But if the fans don't come, then it just doesn't matter. And this place was full. It was full on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I don't know this for sure, but that might have been the largest packed Xfinity race in I don't know how long, and it was great, and you guys came out all week long, and I can't tell you how hyped up that gets me.
All right, well, we are going to take the hype train all the way to Fontana, California. Next up is Auto Club, and these next-gen cars haven't seen Auto Club yet. So, Steve, what are we expecting when we head back to Fontana?
Nothing that you saw here in Daytona. Forget it happened. Forget it existed. When we go to California, the true test of who has it figured out to go the fastest is real. You talk about high horsepower, high downforce, rough back straightaway. Track position's going to matter. Fueling, we saw fueling issues in Daytona. You better get it right there. You can have a bad pit stop here and just pull back up in the draft. You have a bad pit stop at California, I'll see you in Las Vegas. So I think that's the real thing is who is going to take what they've learned and who can make changes the quickest.
Mamba, what are you looking forward to for AC?
I love Auto Club. That's one of my favorite racetracks to watch the race at. Like you said, they fan out. Turn 1 on the restart, they're going to be 18 wide. They always are. Someone's going to be trying to drive it down pit road to make a passage. It's fantastic. The drivers like it because it benefits drivers that like to go get it, like a Tyler Reddick pounding the top. Love to see that. The backstretch, it looks like there's whoops back there with this new car. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'm excited to find out. I'll tell you that.
All right, well, unfortunately, let's hope Auto Club goes better for us when it comes to the backseat bettors, because all of us, we got one.
Listen, you can't handicap a Speedway race. I feel pretty good.
I got one, and I feel really good about it.
I'm going to make a deal with y'all. Whoever has the most next week, the loser buys coffee.
Okay, I thought it was going to be $1,000, Steve, next time. Okay, let's do these featured matchups. It's the same as we did last week. Steve explained how it operates. You go in, you don't have to worry about all of the money lines, all the odds, all the betting system, what Vegas is doing. You're going head-to-head.
Listen, don't let the numbers confuse you. Really, this is the best way you want to bet. You want to bet NASCAR, go to head-to-heads. Pick your driver. Pick a driver he can beat. There's going to be some opportunity in there. Pick your guy, cheer him on. If you think your driver can win the race, well, sure. Cannonball in. Make a bet there, too. But I love head-to-heads. I think it's a great way to do it, even though we went 1 for 4. But Fontana, big bounce back.
That's 1 for 4 is,
not good. Don't try to sell. It's awful.
Yeah, okay.
It's awful.
Let's do the
1 for 4, we're going to be working a lot. 1 for 4 ain't going to get us anywhere.
The two Team Penske teammates. We're going with the Daytona 500 champion of Austin Cindric versus his teammate who was so close to a Daytona 500 tonight, the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Mamba, who you got? Let me guess.
Look, I got the 12. He's
Shocker.
good. He's really good at
words.
Fontana.
Use all your words, man.
Well, she does this to me, and I'm like, well, yeah, I know I take the 12 a lot, but he's good.
A lot.
A lot.
Hey, I'm going to bail you out. Here's why I need to take the 12. Because Austin Cindric won the Daytona 500. And if he does this right, he's not going to be prepared when he gets to Fontana. He ain't going to feel good in Fontana. His team ain't going to feel good in Fontana. He won the Daytona 500. Let's worry about Las Vegas. I mean, this week, celebrate. It's a Daytona 500.
Speaking from
experience. This is life-changing.
But do you think if you let's see you in Las Vegas, but it's Vegas, so like.
No.
Not roll, that rolls right in.
No, because then you go to Fontana and you get kicked in the teeth and go, we're going to have to buckle back down. That wasn't cool. No, so I agree. Blaney. I'm going to bail you out because you couldn't have a good reason. So
other than he's good. He's just good there.
Mamba, close your ears. I'm also going with the 12 of Ryan Blaney. All right, next up, the 24 of William Byron versus his teammate, the 48 of Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman does have a win at Auto Club.
I'm going Byron. I think it's William Byron's year. I think he grows every year. That's a tough one because I do think they're both going to run well. How about this? To beat each other, you're talking way up inside the top 5. I don't think if Byron's going to beat Bowman or Bowman beat Byron, it isn't going to be for 11th.
Right.
No, they're racing for top 5, podium, a win, something like that. I'm going with Byron. I'm going with Byron 24. I agree. He had a couple wins here at Speed Weeks. Yeah, it was super late model racing, but winning is contagious. And when you win, you feel good, and it will transfer over.
Write that down. Winning, better than losing.
Always.
That's
a safe bet.
Going with 48, Alex Bowman. Lock it in. Next up, the 23 of Bubba Wallace versus the 14 of Chase Briscoe.
I'm going Briscoe. I think Briscoe is starting to become a leader at Stewart-Haas. I think the torch isn't passed yet, but I think you can kind of see where that leadership is going towards. They're going to lean on Briscoe to really be that next Kevin Harvick-esque over there. And I think he can do it. He's shown that he can run up front a lot of different places. Obviously, Xfinity Series won on every track, so I'm going Briscoe.
I'm going Bubba. I'm going Bubba for the Toyota. Briscoe's a wheel man. Slick. It's going to be a slick racetrack. He's going to be up around the top, making stuff happen. I think perhaps what Bubba did at Daytona, backing up his win at Talladega, being there in the finish. I know he didn't win, but anytime you're in the picture of who won the Daytona 500, you had a great Speed Weeks. I think Bubba's going to take that momentum, and more importantly, I expect the Toyotas to be strong.
All right, I picked Austin Dillon versus Bubba Wallace last week in the Daytona 500. Bubba, I'm sorry. I'm going with 23, Bubba Wallace.
That's the other reason, too, because I ain't going to lose on him twice.
Bubba,
my man, Bubba!
Hey, just remember who got you, boy.
So we will see if Vegas agrees with us. If you guys at home agree with us, let us know. Tweet Steve if you don't. That's the best way to do it. He's not even on Twitter hardly anymore, so just tweet it, Steve.
Working all the time.
All right. Well,
I ain't got that follow back yet either, bro.
We're going to start calling it the NASCAR cross country because, man, we go from L.A. in the Clash. We come to Daytona Beach, and then we're going back out west. We're heading to Auto Club in Fontana, California. Victory Lane, there is a checkered flag on the line, and the second team to lock into the NASCAR playoffs. We have one already with the 2 of Austin Cindric, but Mamba, who gets it done at Auto Club?
I'm gonna go with one of my picks from our bet. I'm gonna go with Byron. I think Byron. I think we were talking about it will be 24 and 48 battling for a podium. I think Byron just gets it done all the way.
I like it, Steve.
I believe in good karma. Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney was as good a teammate as you can be in the biggest race of the year. I think racing karma exists. I think they're going to flip the script on Ryan Blaney. I think he's going to take a little bit of the sting out of the Daytona 500 wound and win next week.
All right, I like both of the picks. I am going with 2021 speed to show up, and the champ, the defending champ, the 5 of Kyle Larson, the California kid is going to get it done in his home state.
Just remember, coffee, cream, 2 sugars when you buy it next week. Thanks.
Coffee,
2 of them, please.
Okay, guys, we'll see. Well, they're going to turn the lights off here at us at Daytona. I hope so, because NASCAR after dark, backseat drivers after dark, the energy. Steve, Mamba, you guys need to go to sleep.
We're good. I think you want to take a lap.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
The Great American Race sure was fun. We hope you guys enjoyed all of the action from Daytona. But now we head out west. The next-gen cars in the NASCAR Cup Series are heading to Auto Club. Make sure and tune in next Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And we'll see you right back here next week in the backseat. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more clips, highlights, and full-length episodes. Also, check out NASCAR.com to stay up to date with all the latest news.